What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Trick 10s. Today we are working on a 2024 Tracker Grizzly 1648. Now this one has a 40 horsepower Merc jet engine on it, which is pretty dope. I'm gonna show you guys that in just a second. But the cool thing about this project is that this is a build that Austin is gonna do on his own. He just went back to Galax last weekend, picked this thing up, trailered it back here with him. He's taking it home with him tonight. I just helped him make a couple of pieces for this thing. I'm gonna show you what we made, and I'm gonna tell you what he plans to do with it. One of the cool things about this project is that Austin is going to make the largest, maybe not the largest, but the longest hatches we've ever built in Trick 10's history. It's gonna be pretty sick. I'm gonna turn this camera around. I'm gonna show you guys what we plan to do with this rig. You know how this works. Let's get right into it. Check it out. 1648, 2024 model, Tracker Grizzly. He does have the Lowrance Ghost trolling motor on here. He's got the active target transducer up there. Pretty sick little boat. He's getting ready to get some major modifications thanks to Austin. Now check out the back of this thing. Mercury, 40 horsepower jet. It's pretty neat. Got the jet drive on the bottom, your intake down there. I mean, you can probably run up in some shallows with this thing because it's pretty much flush with the bottom of the hull the way it sits. So you do lose a lot of horsepower when you step the jet on here. It steps it down to like 40%. So I'm assuming he's probably only pushing, 25 horsepower. Not 100% sure. I'm not really familiar with the jet engines, but it's pretty cool. Definitely a sick little boat. It's brand spanking new, 2024 model. I mean, this thing ain't even got a scratch in it. I don't even think it's been in the water, but maybe a handful of times, if that. All right, so check it out. Now, these tubes in here, those are not stock, obviously. The customer went ahead and put these in here because what he wanted Austin to do, well, he really wanted us to do either way, but Austin's doing it. He wanted to have rod lockers, both sides, port and starboard, similar to the 2072 that we just did. The difference in this boat and the 2072 is that this floor in here is a lot smaller. It's only a 16-foot boat. So what he's got is about 84 inches from the back bench seat up to this front bench up here. So that's not long enough for him to fit his rods in here. And originally, he wanted us to try to cut a hole in here and get in here, dig out foam, put some type of pin in there, which is damn near impossible with these trackers because the foam they use is so dense and it would be impossible to go in through here and try to dig foam out up in 2 feet inside of here. It's not happening. So he came up with the idea that he was going to put these rod sleeves in here, and those will catch the tips of his rods, and they've come up inside of this front bench a couple of feet. So that gives him the space he needs to run his rods down here. Now, what Austin is going to be doing is building a big hatch, and this hatch is going to be 84 inches. It's going to run the entire length, both the port and starboard in this rig. And the reason he's doing it like that is because he's got these rod tubes in here. Now, normally, if this was open, we would only put like, a 5-foot hatch in here. That's a gigantic hatch to begin with. And that'd be more than enough room for you to open it and sleeve your rods in here. The issue is that if this is only a 5-foot hatch, it's gonna stop right here. And then you still got 3 feet of space up here where, he's not gonna be able to see these sleeves up here. So we are going to build hatches to run the entire length. These are long hatches. I'm glad that this is something that he's doing in person because it would be a nightmare trying to ship these long hatches. But the plan is to frame this out. Now, we did build some pieces for this already. This is pretty cool. This side panel on here, new model. Tracker changed this up. This is a lot wider. This is like 6 inches in here almost. And that is actually square. They built this thing where this corner is damn near perfectly square on both sides. One of these corners was off a smidgen, but you're not going to be able to tell that once we get it framed out. But we built a piece for this side. Now, you can frame this whole thing out with 1.5 by 1/8 aluminum angle, but you can't do that on this side because you see how it's tapered? Well, if you put a piece of angle up here to square, it's going to kick up in the air like that. So we had to overbend this one. So I did help him make these pieces. So the angle that's going to attach to this side ended up being like a 3-inch by 1.5 inches. And that's going to rivet into the side all the way down, port and starboard. That's going to give him a space for the hatch to overlap on. He's going to drop that down 1/8 of an inch. Once the hatch drops in, everything's going to be nice and flush and smooth, just like we do all the builds. So the main thing he's going to get done first is the angle frame. All the way up each side, he's running an angle, top and bottom. That will also allow a sheet to catch on the face and hatch to drop in the top. He's gonna have to come back and put 3 or 4 vertical supports in here because it's 84 inches long. Then in between these 2 hatches we're putting port and starboard, he's gonna come off of this front existing deck 24 inches. He's gonna put a big hatch in here, and that's gonna allow him to have some storage inside of here, because right now the only storage he has in this boat is right here, and anybody that has a tracker knows that that is not much storage at all, considering that's the only hatch you got. So he's gonna have 3 hatches, 1 port, 1 starboard, 1 center hatch. That center hatch is gonna be big. If he comes back 24 inches, he's gonna have about 3 foot of space inside of there. It's like a 2 foot, a 3 foot storage box. It's gonna be about 12 inches deep, or whatever we can get out of this from the floor up to the top of this bench. I would recommend that he come back at a later date and install a tracker bench kit in here. That way he'll have this whole area inside his bench for storage also. Austin's also going to be installing the transom kit. This is the kit that we sell. It's 600 bucks. It comes with the leveler pieces, 1 for the port and starboard, and then it has the hatch that goes in here. It's a 42 by 16 inch hatch, pieces that go across the back to finish this thing off. It's pretty sick. I'll put it in a bunch of trackers. I've been selling a bunch of them. It is a little bit DIY, but Austin's done these. He could do this with his eyes closed. So we're going to have a hatch back here. It's going to cover all this stuff in here, and it's going to look like a finished product. This whole back deck will be finished off. 2 big side rod lockers, big storage compartment. It's going to extend that front deck out. It's going to be a sick little build. I'm excited to see what Austin does with this thing. He's going to take it home with him right now. He's in there cutting up some material, and we will check back in with him when he brings it back. He said he's going to try to film some footage of this in hyperlapse, so hopefully we can watch some of that right now. All right, guys, Austin brought the boat back. We finished it up a little bit here today. He was just taking a picture of his pretty work over there. Good job, dude. This thing looks sick, guys. We did something a little different back here. Now, I was mistaken originally. This is a 1754, and this kit back here, well, obviously, it's not the 1648 kit. This is the new and improved kit. This is the 1754 kit. We're also going to offer the same style for the 1648, 1448, etc. The difference in this kit is that it has pieces underneath it here that are mounted to the transom, an overbent angle, and then this hatch, obviously, it's got a handle on either side, and it has this notch out. With this kit, you don't have to cut through the transom. It's pretty cool. No transom bracket cut out. It's a lot easier to install, and you guys can look for these very shortly on the website. These pieces, yes, they're welded here, but they also are riveted to the piece underneath of it, so you really don't have to weld this either. So this is a no weld kit right here for any of the Tracker Grizzly models, so keep an eye out for that. Thing looks killer though, man. These hatches on the side are humongous. Look how long these things are. It's like the never-ending hatches. 80 inches long. It's going to be difficult if you guys want me to ship some of these, because it's probably not going to happen, but we had to put 2 handles in them. That's this rod locker. Turned out sick. Gosh, this thing is so humongous. Pretty cool though. And then in the center, this is a 2-foot by 3-foot hatch. It's on a gas piston. Stainless steel gas pistons, all welded brackets. He killed it, man. Austin has learned a lot. Hate to see him go, but he'll be back around every couple weeks doing some builds. And if you guys are interested, holler at him. I'm gonna leave the link for his Instagram in this video. Go give him a follow. You can see some of his adventures on his tugboat coming up. But yeah, man, he did a good job. Did a real good job. I'm hyped with how this thing turned out. He crushed it. That's just a spacer piece we put in there, because what happens is these hatches warp when you weld them, especially since it's 80 inches long. But that's just in there temporarily while you install it. Keep the gap in there. Looks great though. A sick build, man. I'll show you how this back transom looks. It's pretty cool. You see the pieces up underneath there, the angle. You got the same thing on the other side, and then with that cutout, that allows you to drop it down, and you don't have to worry about messing with this bracket. It's strong. It's got the stiffener right there up against it. Still gives you room to pull all your cables and hoses and stuff like that in here. So this is going to be the new Tracker kit, the no weld Tracker Grizzly bag deck kit. Now the only thing that this boat is missing is the bench kit, and he could easily drop 2 more 20 by 20 hatches in here and dig all that foam out of there, and that thing would be sick, and that would really finish the whole boat off. More than likely, we're going to end up seeing this thing back again. If he doesn't turf it himself, then we'll probably turf it for him, because he's going to need to do that. Turned out sick though, man. Good job, Austin.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, so this thing turned out killer. Now, leave a comment for Austin. Let him know what you think about this build. I'm going to leave a link for his Instagram in the description. Make sure you guys go check him out. Follow him on Instagram. Keep up with his journey. Now, this is a cool project, a 1754, the first one we ever did, and it's brand new, and Austin just knocked this thing out of the park. It was a cool project for him to do and go out with a bang, but I'm sure he'll be back, especially after people see this, because this thing looks really dope. So leave a comment and let me know your opinion about this, and tell Austin farewell and good luck on the tugboat. Anyways, guys, if you're interested in this Tracker kit, which I know a lot of you are going to be interested in, look for that on my website, trick10sjohnboats.com. I'm going to try to get them up there within the next 2 weeks. If you just want to order one, just give me a call, because I already know all the sizes and everything, so it'll be very simple. I appreciate you guys watching, hanging out with us today. Hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you on the next one.